Alumni Leadership Day will happen virtually this year.
And with Thanksgiving approaching, KEHS reached out to students to find out what they love about this special holiday. Hello, and welcome to KEHS. I'm Margaret Hammond.
And I'm Jake Giesler. Thanks for joining us on this edition of KnightVision News. 2020 has been a hard year, and no doubt, many people are showing signs of anxiety and depression. Field reporter Morgan Herod talked to the nurse and counselor about how to stay calm and safe during the break.
2020 has been a year filled with unknowingness and doubt, and with so much going on, it is easy to just start to see some symptoms of anxiety and depression. That's why we talked to school nurse and counselor to talk about how to manage anxiety and depression symptoms.
We talked to Miss Clay about how to manage mental health through this hard time.
Overall, I think it's caused a sense of stress and anxiety in people, just constantly having this uncertainty happening in the world. And I think also the disconnectedness we've experienced with quarantining and lockdowns has also taken a toll on people. Keeping a schedule is often really helpful. Back to basics: sleep well, eat well, try and exercise. Setting small periods of time aside during the day to do something for yourself, maintaining good self-care is also really important. But those two of those things are really, you'll hear me say it over and over again, so important for battling with anxiety and stress, and that is sleeping well and eating well. I think that when we feel low, we feel that lack of motivation, like you asked. I think setting small goals throughout the day that you know you can accomplish is one way to get that motivation going. Having a checklist and starting that checklist with something that, hey, I know I can accomplish that. Get started there. Also, I'm going to say it again, self-care is so important. Making sure throughout the day you're taking breaks from your phone, taking breaks from social media. We're behind our computers with virtual day, remote learners. It's all so much technology. Taking space from that is a really, really good way to maintain your self-care. But it really, just having a list, having a routine, trying to stick with it the best you can. After school, having a schedule just as much as you do when you're at home to try and work through your homework, your studying, and taking breaks throughout that time.
Now Ms. Thomas will tell us how to stay safe over Thanksgiving break and avoid getting and spreading COVID.
Well, staying safe is kind of hard to do during a pandemic, so the more you can learn about how to stay safe, the better. And that includes what we do at school, which is social distance. That's the most important thing you can do. Wear a mask, especially around people who are outside your immediate family. If someone in the family is sick, then you should also wear a mask as much as possible at home. You want to try to avoid crowds larger than 10 people and as small as you can get by with, because the more people you have that you're in contact with, the more likelihood you may be exposed by one of those individuals. If you have grandparents coming, people who are elderly, people who are what we call immunocompromised, who have illnesses that it might be extremely bad for them to become ill with COVID, all of those things would be a big yes. It would be advantageous for them, for you to test prior to seeing them and being in contact. Babies, you should, because you've been out in public and that sort of thing, you should try to keep your hands, off of babies and not always be wanting to hold and love on them, even though that's what we would all like to do. So I can say in some circumstances it would be advantageous to see family after you've tested, and in other cases it might not be necessary. What I would recommend is that your parents contact their healthcare provider to get that recommendation.
Staying safe and taking care of yourself mentally is one of the most important things you can do. We hope you all have a good Thanksgiving break and stay safe.
Thank you for those tips, Morgan. I'll make sure to try some of them. This semester, the clubs at Episcopal have been off to a great start. Let's join Olivia Henshaw with her report on the Medical Careers Club.
Medical Careers Club is a club offered at EHS for many students to join. A group of students gather together to teach others about the jobs available in the Medical Careers Club and what comes with them.
So Medical Careers Club is a club where everyone can come and learn about different options in the medical field and if they would be interested in it. And so today in our meeting, we're assembling craft packets for patients at Texas Children's Hospital.
Hannah Wheelis found the opportunity to lead a bunch of students interested in the medical field.
I decided to be the student sponsor for this club because I'm interested in pursuing a career in the medical field when I'm older.
Faculty sponsor Miss Karen Foster reflected on the club and the positive things going on in it.
Well, Hannah's done a great job with the club. I mean, she's really kind of revived the Medical Careers Club. We've had 2 fantastic meetings, and today we were able to pack some craft packages for children at Texas Children's Hospital, and she shared various careers we could go into if in the medical profession besides just being a surgeon. And my background is, I was in physical therapy in college, and I taught anatomy and physiology for 20 years. So I'm very much still interested in the medicine and health careers.
With the revival of the Medical Careers Club, Hannah Wheelis has united students to gather together and make projects for kids to do in hospital beds. I'm Olivia Henshaw reporting for KEHS News. Back to you in the studio.
What a fun club to be a part of. We are so glad it has been made into something great. There are many classes at EHS that many don't know about, and one is the Academic Assistance Program. Here's Caroline Roots to bring us information about AAP and how this program is beneficial to Episcopal students.
Hi, I'm Caroline Roots, and today we interviewed some of the students and teachers in AAP to see their opinions on the course.
We interviewed the teachers of AAP to see how they like teaching students.
AAP is, the acronym stands for Academic Assistance Program, and what it does is help students with content area help and executive functions, study habits, all those types of skills. We have 7, so actually this year I think we have 8 periods because one period has 2 classes, and so it's about 35 students total in academic assistance.
Great, it's very fulfilling, and I get to hang out with cool kids like Margaret.
Thank you for watching this segment on AAP, and go Knights.
Thank you, Caroline, for that helpful insight on AAP. Now let's take a look into the girls' soccer program and what to expect for them this year. Let's join reporter Makai Wong with his report on this new look girls sport.
I asked the girls' soccer coach, Coach Stelter, on her opinions about this year on girls' soccer.
It definitely already has, so we have our mask policy in place, and so the girls are wearing their masks while playing games and practices. They've been pretty great sports about that. We've already had to cancel some games for teams that won't wear masks when they play against us, but overall we're still planning on having our season and going forward with SBC, so not too big of an effect, but a little bit.
What new changes have you implemented in the team this year?
A lot. So we are definitely trying to turn the culture around. So some new changes that we're doing are really focusing on like intentional team bonding activities. We went on a retreat to Lake Livingston and like set our core values and player expectations, and brought in a really incredible coaching staff of my friends and other female players in the area.
What do you think of the new talent in your team this year?
They're ballers. So on Friday, we just the coaching staff for varsity, we just sat back and we were amazed by how incredible every single player is, and that's on the varsity level and the JV. So I've had multiple people here on campus tell me that this is the most talented EHS girls soccer team that they've seen, program for both teams in the history.
What can we expect from girls soccer this year?
You can expect a team that is going to give it their all, and it's going to be an exciting time. You can expect us to just have an incredible season and really turn the program around.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
As you can see, we're very excited about the girls soccer team this year, and I know the whole EHS body is rooting for them this year.
The entire Episcopal family is rooting for this season of girls soccer. Good luck, girls. Signing day is the first day an athlete can officially declare their commitment to their collegiate sport. Field reporter Millette Havens gained some insight on Bria and Simone Woodard's athletic journey and how they chose to commit to Howard University.
Signing Day is an event where Division I athletes gather with their families and closest friends to celebrate their official commitment to their college sport. This year's annual signing day was virtual due to COVID and was live streamed to the EHS community. We have 6 Knights who proudly committed to various college sports, ranging from baseball, women's lacrosse, and women's volleyball. 2 athletes that were previously committed to Texas A&M University recently decommitted and chose to play volleyball at Howard University. We sat down with Bria and Simone Woodard, asking them what made Howard the better choice for them.
Because we realized that we've been lacking like that sense of community going, we haven't had it in our lives, yet. And we really just want to have a new experience. And we were also talking to the Howard coaches before we committed to Texas A&M. So we were a little bit more familiar with their program and like the school.
Congrats to all the athletes that signed, and can't wait to see more Knights in the future do the same. Reporting for KEHS News, I'm Millette Havens.
Thanks, Millette. We can't wait to watch what Bria and Simone do throughout their college careers. Go Bisons.
Although COVID-19 has made some dents in the schedule this year, the wonderful EHS faculty has prevailed, bringing special events such as Advent Chapel into our homes.
Unfortunately, I won't get to spend Advent Chapel with all my friends this year, but it is virtual, so everyone and their parents will be able to attend.
I spoke with Reverend Beth Holden on how Advent Chapel was put together this year and what she was most excited about.
Well, this year we had to take into account several different things. One was that we couldn't fit our whole community in here. And Advent Chapel really is a community experience, and it's the one time of the year where the whole community gathers at night for this very special service. Well, we couldn't do that, so we had to figure out, well, then who would be here? And that didn't seem very fair either. So Mr. Ashby came up with this great idea of hiring a professional team to come in and film it over a couple of nights in mid-November. And it's been, so we'll put it all together, and then the editing team from this company will be able to cut and paste and put it all together so it'll look beautiful. We're filming in the evenings, so the lighting will be the same, because one of the things we've loved about Advent Chapel has been the lighting, the evening light, being able to light candles and have that be a part of the magic of the evening. Well, the service itself will be very similar to what it's been in the past. It's a service of lessons and carols. And those are traditional services in the church where we have readings that tell the story of salvation, the story beginning with Adam and Eve in the garden and ending up with the announcement of the Word becoming flesh and living among us. So we have this progression of readings. The carols themselves, you'll hear this year that the carols start off with Advent themes and move quickly into more Christmas themes. The readings themselves will pull Advent a little bit further along, but the difference this year is that the service will be much shorter. So we're only having 5 lessons, and the whole service will take 30 minutes.
I also got the chance to quickly speak with Mr. Hutchison on the difference between Advent Chapel and Daily Chapel.
So for Advent Chapel this year, they brought in a videographer to film much more specific shots of the kids singing and the organ playing, and some closer up shots of the readings that you normally hear during Advent Chapel. Whereas our Daily Chapel is a little simpler. We only use 2 cameras all the way up in the balcony. So it was much more specific and filmed like a movie might be filmed rather than a broadcast.
Remember to tune in on December 8th at 6 p.m. online for Advent Chapel. This is Henry Crane reporting for KEHS News.
As a senior, I'm glad I won't miss my last Advent Chapel this winter. Well, that's all we have on this week on KnightVision News. I'm Margaret Hammond.
And I'm Jake Giesler. From all of us at KEHS News, thank you for joining us.
And go Knights!